guys, and welcome back to my channel. Now, if this is your first time here, hey, welcome. My name is Dianne, and I am super excited that you found your way here. Oh my gosh, this video has been a long time coming, but I have been procrastination patty like a mug on this one right here. But today is the day we are going to get these final thoughts on The Final Reckoning, season 32. Out to you guys. Let's go ahead and get into it. Disclaimer, let me be very clear, because a lot of y'all be like, but then you just said, but didn't you say, oh, the hypocrisy of it all? Oh, she's such a hypocrite. Let's be very clear. The thoughts and opinions expressed in this video are based on how I felt in October 2018. That's when we wrapped the reunion, October 2018. So everything that I'm saying in this video has nothing to do with February 2019. Nothing. This is all based on how I felt in October. So I don't want to hear nothing, okay? All right. Y'all ready? Let's go. Okay, so I guess I'll start with the guys, and then I'll make my way over to the girls, and that's how I'll get this thing going. So let's start with Zack. I have nothing bad to say about Zack. I feel like my impression of him is just, he's hungry for a win. He wants to win this game by any means necessary. You feel what I'm saying? He's ready to get that W, and he gonna do what he have to do. Even though he was the one who continuously threw me and Josie into the eliminations, I never took it personally because it's game related. So I have no ill feelings towards him or anything like that. I just know in the game, probably ain't gonna trust his ass. Because he continued to use us as a scapegoat. But again, it was all game related. Like, you could tell he has a heart, because even as the season progressed, when he would have to throw me and Josie into the eliminations, you know, it kind of was tearing him up a little bit, you know, not on no major, oh, it's breaking my heart, but on some, like, his conscience was messing with him a little bit, because it's like, damn, I don't want to keep doing that to them. They not doing anything to me. Like, they're not doing anything to me. So why do I keep, you know, you feel what I'm saying? But he had to play the cards that he were dealt. And I understood that, you know, player to player. I get it. I understand it. So no ill feelings about that at all. Zack was cool in my book. You feel what I'm saying? Like, nothing bad to say about him at all. And also, when we all got eliminated together, me, him, Amanda, and Josie, we had a little time to bond in South Africa. So I got to know him a little bit on a personal level. And, you know, he's not a bad guy. I don't peg him as a bad guy. Or at least I can say he's never done anything bad to me, personally. So that's my take on Zack. Johnny. Yeah, I like Johnny. Johnny's cool. I have no problems with him. The thing I like about him is he's a realist, okay? He's a straight shooter like me. He gonna say what he gotta say. He gonna get it off his chest. He gonna keep it pushing. If you don't like it, it is what it is. At least I said what I had to say. And that's how I am. So I was really able to rock with him on that level. We looked out for each other during the season, you know, not because we wanted to. It wasn't like we were like, okay, we want to work together. It was nothing like that. It's just how it happened. He was using me and I was using him, and it just kind of worked out in our favor for a little while until it no longer worked out. But it was cool. So I really thought he was a cool person in the midst of, you know, the game and us, you know, talking and getting to know each other. I really discovered he's a really chill, down to earth person. He has a reputation on the show that he has to, I guess, kind of like live up to or whatever. But outside of that, like, just Johnny, like, chill. He's a cool dude. Like, nothing bad to say about him at all. CT. Oh my gosh. Now, granted, our time together to bond was very short. I do appreciate the fact that he was willing to give me a lot of wisdom and knowledge about this game. I mean, it's CT. You know, I grew up watching him. So to get him to sit down and be like, okay, Devon, look, I think you're this type of player, and I think if you make it back into the house, you need to play the game like this, and just kind of like coach me through it. That was super dope. And then he has a son, and the way he talks about his son and his family, and you know, that's my parent buddy. You feel me? Like, we're able to really sit back and talk about our kids, and just CT's good by me. He's cool with me. He wasn't in nobody's stuff. Like, he wasn't hothead, messy CT. Like, that's not even him. He's just a very chill, down to earth person, and I think he's good to go. Kyle. Kyle is my favorite person on the season. I have said it all season, and I will forever say it. Kyle is my favorite person on the season, okay? A lot of people didn't like him because of his little triangles. all his little love triangles that he was doing, but that didn't have nothing to do with me. So I didn't get mixed up in the love triangles. I just got to know Kyle the person. You feel what I'm saying? And he's a cool boy. He's funny as hell. He always made me laugh, and he's cool. Like, he has a really good heart. So I know he does. Like, all the stuff that y'all watched him doing, y'all like, he got a good heart. He actually really does. If you really got to know him, he really does. It's deep. It's deep down. You gotta find it. But once he shows his heart, he has a really good heart. So I have nothing bad to say about Kyle other than leave these women alone. Leave these women alone. Just get you a season where you come on the show and you just, Kyle, leave these women alone. Walking away from the show, I thought me and Nelson would be a lot closer than we are, you know, just based on our backgrounds and how we grew up, this, that, and the third. But you feel me? Like, it's just, I don't have anything bad to say about him, but it's just like, you know, I thought me and him would walk away from that show and be really good friends. We had planned to like go back to Inglewood and, you know, talk to a lot of the schools there and let them know like, hey, we come from here too, and this is what we did. So don't think like the hood is it. Like, you can come out of the hood and you can do this and you can do that. Like, none of that. We don't have those conversations outside of the house. Like, none of that. So it kind of made me think like, were we only having those conversations because you wanted to build a rapport for me for game purposes, or were you serious? Because I was serious, you know, but I don't know. So we don't talk, you know. We might like a couple pictures on social media, but that's it. You know, that's it. You know, I walked away from that as, all right, cool. So that was that with Nelson. Brad. I think Brad is a very, very, very dope soul. I really do. I really truly do. Talking to him about our children and talking to him about God, I just, you know, Brad has overcome a lot in his life, and to see the person that he is, how he's so positive and so, you know, such a light, you would never know some of the things that he's been through. And so in talking to him, you know, me and Jose sat down one night and really had like a serious conversation with him, so much that it brought Jose to tears because, you know, Brad, there's a lot of substance there. There's a lot of depth to him. And it's just like, he's a good dude. I have nothing bad to say about Brad at all whatsoever. He's a good dude. Shane. Should I save him for that? Should I come back to that? Nah, it's not that deep. Walking away from the reunion. Okay, so let's back that thing up. So if y'all remember during the reunion, they had a moment where they opened up the library and, you know, it was supposed to be like this huge, big ass reading session that was supposed to happen. That was designed for me. I was supposed to drag Shane for filth. But here's the problem. We get to the reunion and Shane is so nice to me. He's opening doors. He's telling me how beautiful I look. He's asking me how I'm doing. Like, he's so overly cordial. And, you know, there was no, like, nothing. Like, even when we were sitting on stage filming, like, there was no back and forth. It was nothing. You feel what I'm saying? So I felt weird, and you know, I'm talking about this because it was a lot of people that was like, you know, why didn't you drag Shane more, or why didn't you do this about Shane after he said whoop whoop and did whoop whoop whoop, blah 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 blah. You have to understand, it would have been very awkward. It would have been very awkward because he was so positive that day with me. He was so nice. He was so sweet. He was so welcoming. He was very friendly. So if I would have got on that stage after all of the stuff that he had did that day leading up to us filming, and when they opened up the library, if I was like, yeah, by the way, and, you know, just really started reading him his life for filth, I don't look like a crazy person. You feel me? Granted, you know, the stuff before would have warranted that library read thoroughly. Okay? But it would have been very weird. He wasn't disrespectful to me on the stage. He wasn't disrespectful to me coming on there. So it wasn't, I'm not a person that rehearses things and then I'm like, So when the cameras come on, this is what I'm gonna do. No, I'm a person, I live in the moment. That's what I do. That's why I'm a great actress, because I live in the moment. I live in the moment. I'm very present in what's going on. And in that moment, it wasn't called for me to drag him. In that moment, it was an opportunity for me and him to really have a real conversation, because we had yet to have a real conversation. It was just a bunch of dragging, snatching. It was a bunch of that. You feel what I'm saying? It wasn't that the reunion. They should have never let us see each other and be able to talk to each other, because having the opportunity to talk to him and really just kind of, it made no sense for me to drag him. Like, it made no sense for me to do it. I would have looked out of character. I would have looked like a fraud. I would have looked fake, and it wouldn't have been genuine, because in that moment, that's not how I felt. I didn't feel that he was whatever. You feel what I'm saying? I felt like, okay, Shane, you're being Shane, so let's talk. Davon to Shane, not Day to Shady Shane. Let's talk Davon and Shane. So that's what that moment called for. That's why you guys didn't get the drag that y'all were looking for, because it didn't warrant that. You know, we had a cool understanding on stage, and then when the reunion was over, he even came back to my dressing room and we had another talk. Like, I sat on his lap, we was hugging, you know. He told me, he's like, Dave, I really do want to be your friend. And we had a nice conversation, you know. I kissed him on his cheek. We were good when it was over. He hit me up right before I left to go film 33 and was like, you know, kick ass. You feel me? So there's no bad blood there. So I know you guys thought that I was about to go ham, but nah. There is no bad blood there. I have nothing. I would be a fraud if I got on this video and was like, yeah, and about Shane. That's fake. And I'm not that person. So there's no bad blood there. Hunter. Walking away from the reunion, I didn't have any feelings about Hunter. You feel what I'm saying? Me and him had words throughout the show. He apologized for what he said to me. And I apologize for calling him out his name, because that wasn't cool. But, it wasn't, I didn't have any feelings. I didn't walk away from the reunion like, oh, we're going to be friends, or, oh, we're not going to be friends. It was just kind of like, all right, bye. Like, all right, cool. Bye. It wasn't that relationship or friendship had not been established. Like, there was no rapport there for me to be like, oh, that's gonna be my friend, or oh, we're gonna talk, or oh, if I see you, let's go get drinks. Like, no. Like, if I see you in public, like, oh, what's up, and we out. Like, it wasn't that deep. So that's how I felt about Hunter. Paulie, walking away from this season, it's crazy, because if you would have asked me my opinion of Paulie in 2016, I would have had a lot to say, okay? And none of it would have been good. It would have all been bad. It all would have been, tell him, go get his sisters, his female cousins, his whoever, and we can line it up. That would have been the conversation back then. But the conversation now is, that's my little brother. Hey, we cool. Hey, we cool. You know what I'm saying? I have no problems with Paulie. I think, he got to stop letting these people get to him. Like, Paulie is kind of like me in a sense. And it kind of sucks. I know a lot of people from the Big Brother world are going to be like, what? But kind of, sort of. Because, let me be clear. When I say he's kind of like me in a sense, I mean when it comes to being a competitor and not taking BS from these people. That's where we're very similar, because Paulie ain't finna just let you say something to him and then just be like, all right, you did that. And neither am I. I'm be like, oh, okay, let's talk about it. Let's go ahead and talk about it. And go ahead and get you some hair implants, because I'm about to scalp you bald right now, okay? That's how we deal with people in these reality TV worlds. And I'm learning that I have to stop doing it. And I hope he learns that he has to stop doing it too. Because when they say something and we react, we always get in trouble for our reactions, because we react so big that people forget about what the person has done to us. So now it's just like, did you hear what she said? Did you hear what he said? You feel what I'm saying? And it's no longer, and we sitting here like, okay, but for every action, there's a reaction. So what about what that person said or did that made me react the way that I'm reacting? Let's talk about that. Like, so I understand in that sense. But anyway, I think he's a great person. I have nothing bad to say about him. He makes bad decisions, but we are human. We all do. I'm not excusing any of his decisions. He's going to have to live with a lot of his decisions that he has made. But as far as me and him on a, that's my dog. Nothing bad to say about him at all. Chuck. Chuck is like, well, Chuck was at the time like a little brother to me. You feel what I'm saying? Inside the house, he was like a little brother to me. He did not come to the reunion, so all I have is what transpired as the season was filming between he and I wish he would have told his story. I really wish he would have told his story, because it's a lot of people still walking around here thinking that, the other party is this angel and this victim, and, looking at him like he's a sack of shit. You feel what I'm saying? Though he's not innocent. He is not innocent in what transpired, but it's like, dude, tell your story. Like, tell your story. You didn't just leave for no reason. Tell your story. How you told us you came to a fork in the road. Tell us, tell them, so they know about that fork in the road that you came to. Tell them about what she did. Let them know, so they have understanding for why you left. Because right now, the narrative that is being portrayed is that you just left her stuck in love. You feel what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, tell your story. Tell your story and stand in your truth. Your truth that she confirmed was the truth. Tell it, because it ain't my story to tell, and I'm not. So I hope he tells his story one day. Josie, me and Josie hadn't talked for 2 years. We hadn't talked since, Big Brother 18. He was a little upset with me because I did orchestrate his eviction, but that's how the game went at that time. So us coming on the challenge, oh my God, I might get emotional because I really love him now. I got to see who Josie is, beyond all the reads, beyond all the shade, beyond all the bitch, I'm just, beyond all of that. I really got to see him for who he is, and I really got to know him for who he is. Josie is one of the most kindest, sweetest, most loving people I've ever met in my life. And there are layers to him that people would never know. There are so many layers to him. That boy has been through, that man has been through so much. And you would never know unless he opened up to you. He's going to do a lot. There is a light within him. And when that light finally starts to shine the way it's supposed to shine, ain't not a person in this world gonna be able to dim it, because that man right there, okay? It's a talented one. He got some things to do. And I just hope that he walks in his destiny, stays humble as he's walking into his destiny, and I pray that everything God has in store for him, I pray that he gets everything, because he deserves it. He's such a good guy. That's my baby. That's my little brother. It's one of my best friends. I love him, and I will cut. Yes, I did say the B word, and we'll talk more about that at the end of this video. Wait for that. Anyway, Joss. Yeah, Joss can line it up. What's up? Because I'm still mad about the whole 8 Mile comment. Like, what's happening? I'm ready. Like, what's up? He ain't apologize. He ain't do nothing. All he did was he went to Nelson and was like, what's up with Davon, talking about that. And, Nelson comes up to me after the reunion and he's like, that's my friend. And I can honestly say we're friends. So he's not racist, this, that, and the third. I said, I don't care about you being his black friend. What I'm saying is what he said to me, sir. Like, it is what it is. That's what he said. You feel me? I don't care about you coming to, stand up for him as his black friend. That means nothing to me. That man looked me in my face and said, why you always got to act so 8 Mile? What that mean? What that mean? That's a problem. That ain't cool. Nah. So when you ready to talk, holla at me. But don't stop sending people to me. We ain't doing that. Don't send nobody else to me. You want to talk to me? You want to know how I was affected by what you said? Or if you want to apologize for what you said, reach out to me. Don't send nobody else to me. Tony, I love Tony. Tony is a cool dude. He's funny. He's a hothead. You know, Tony is a mess. Tony is a mess.com/gov.org/edu. A mess. Okay? But he's a cool mess. Like, he's solid. He's a cool dude. It is what it is with Tony. Like, what? What's up? What? Like, Tony is the type of person that you call him, like, Tony, this happened. He like, so we riding or not? Like, what's up? What you want to do? Because I'm ready. My tennis shoes by the door. What's happening? Like, like, Tony is a cool dude. Nothing bad to say about him at all whatsoever. Derek. Okay, so here's my thing with Derek. I thought walking away from the show that me and Derek would be really good friends. That's what I thought. You know, I wasn't, yeah, I wasn't expecting like no relationship or nothing like that. Like, that's out. Like, I don't, you know, there was not, that wasn't the deal. I thought me and him would walk away and be really good friends just based on the conversations that he and I had inside the house. Because when the cameras weren't around and he wasn't flirting, and when the cameras, you know, when that wasn't happening, me and him had legit conversations. Like, we would talk about life and we would talk about family, and I got to know him and he got to know me. So I really looked at him like, whoa, like, you could really be a friend outside of this house. But that didn't happen, you know, and I was a little offended that he tried to play me. I really was. When we won the double cross and we went to the club that night. Why all of a sudden you like, oh, I like you and what you doing? What are you doing? Because you could have easily pulled me to the side and been like, look, Davon, like, friend to friend. And I would have even taken that into consideration. I still would have picked Natalie and Paulie, but I would have respected you more. You feel what I'm saying? For coming to me on some friend stuff than to sit here and be like, oh, well, you know, I have these feelings for you and I like you. Like, no. We're not doing that. We're not. So I lost a little bit of respect for him after that because I felt it was uncalled for. Like, if you're going to politic, don't do it with me. You didn't have to do it with me. We were cool. Like, you didn't have to do that with me. That was weird. And it kind of like ruined our friendship. So that's that. Corey. Don't know Corey. Didn't get an opportunity to really meet him. After the reunion, still didn't know him. So I have nothing to say about him. Either way, I don't know him.